This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather, hello there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, July 23rd, he is not here with us. He's dead, but still, this man is an icon and all that. For the Brooklyn/LA Dodgers, he played for them from 1940 to 1958, a 10-time All-Star at shortstop. Got the Dodgers to 7 World Series appearances, inducted to the Hall of Fame in 1984, and also famous for support of Jackie Robinson. And refused to allow his teammates to sign a petition not playing if Jackie Robinson was playing. His name is Pee Wee Reese. He was born July 23rd, 1918 in Akron, Kentucky. He was actually a champion marbles player. A Pee Wee's a small marble, by the way. But anyway, he was born in Meade County, Kentucky, and was raised till he was 8 when they moved to Louisville. He only weighed 120 pounds as a senior in high school and played 6 games as second baseman. He graduated from high school in 1935. Would be a cable splicer for the Louisville Phone Company, playing amateur baseball in a church league. So anyway, when the team reached the league championship, the minor league Louisville Colonels allowed them to play the championship game on their field. And Pee Wee impressed so much that the Colonels gave him a contract for $200 bonus. He was known as the Little Colonel. He was one of the top prospects in the minors. And so Boston was impressed. And the farm director said that they should buy the Louisville Colonels because they're an independent. And so they could get Pee Wee Reese to be a shortstop with Boston's shortstop Joe Cronin near the end of his career and close to being a manager. Unfortunately, though, Cronin was also the Red Sox manager at the time, so he couldn't be replaced and all that. Cronin was sent to Louisville to scout Pee Wee Reese, and Cronin, realizing that he was scouting his own replacement, so in a bit of malice, he decided to downplay Reese's talent and asked to be traded. It took a while, but in 1939, the Red Sox traded him to Brooklyn for $35,000 and 4 players to be named later. Cronin basically signed his own death warrant as Pee Wee Reese would be the star for the Dodgers organization, and the Red Sox just couldn't get a good shortstop for a while. He stayed in Louisville for the 39 season race and was called up to Brooklyn in time for the 1940 season. It was weird that his manager was also the regular shortstop. That was Leo DeRocher. However, unlike Joe Cronin, DeRocher was okay with giving up his spot in the regular lineup to Pee Wee. Unfortunately, he would have a broken heel bone, Pee Wee Reese, and his 1940 rookie season was promising, but of course, it was curtailed. In 1941, he did lead the lead with 47 errors. He couldn't bat well in the World Series as the Yankees won in 5 games. Of course, that World Series was known for Mickey Owens' dropped third strike, which helped the Yankees rally in the 9th inning of Game 4. Of course, like many players at that time, he missed seasons due to military service, obviously with World War II happening. So he missed 3. So he enlisted in the Navy in 1943 and shipped out to fight over the Pacific of World War II. He played on a naval hospital baseball team while stationed in Hawaii. The Dodgers couldn't do much with Pee Wee Reese in the lineup, but a lot of teams also struggled without star players like Ted Williams, also in the service. So anyway, he came back in 1946 and helped the Dodgers battle the Cardinals in a tight playoff race. They actually had to meet in the first ever tiebreaker series in Major League Baseball. No, sorry, it wasn't. It was the first 3-game tiebreak in baseball history. Unfortunately, though, the Cardinals won the first 2 games and went on to the 1946 World Series, taking care of the Red Sox. In the famous World Series, that's the hesitation by Boston. Regardless of that, in 1947, Dodgers players began circulating a petition when they learned that Brooklyn was going to get Jackie Robinson up from Montreal. The players assumed that Reese, who grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, in the South, and where segregation was huge, would sign. The petition would essentially say, if you bring up that black player, trade us, we won't play. However, Reese refused to sign the petition and basically tore it up. Well, of course, Robinson would probably play shortstop, and Reese said, if you can take my job, he's entitled to it. Pee Wee was one of the few Dodgers that were welcoming to Robinson, who endured horrible abuse from the crowds and fellow players, including pitchers who threw at his head and players berating him with racial slurs. Practically, Chadwick Boseman, who is no longer with us, did a great job portraying Jackie Robinson's stuff in 42. When Robinson joined the Dodgers in 1947, traveled with them during the first road trip, he was heckled by fans in Cincinnati. During pre-game infield practice, Reese, the captain of the Dodgers, went over to Robinson, put his arm around his shoulder in a gesture of support that silenced the crowd and his fellow Dodgers players. Someone said that it actually happened in Boston in 1948. Regardless, that was huge and all that. The moment of solidarity between Robinson and Reese actually made a gradual decline in foul behavior by 1948. That gesture was actually is actually in the Brooklyn Park since 2005. That is just amazing and all that. Reese would keep Robinson's morale up amid all the abuse. And there was tactic acceptance of the fact blacks were now playing for big league ball and here there to stay. No. It nurtured Jackie Robinson to make him win the NL Rookie of the Year. Or all that. The friendship between Reese and Robinson was prominent in Roger Kahn's famous book, The Boys of Summer, 1972. The reason behind Reese's passive attitude towards race is not entirely known. Some say that he was taught about the evils of racism at a young age when his father took him to a tree where there was a lynching. When Jackie Robinson died of diabetes in 1972, P.B. Reese was definitely one of his pallbearers at the funeral. Later in his career, he would help the Dodgers win the 1949 pennant, faced the Yankees. Despite Reese's .316 batting average in that series, the Dodgers fell flat to the Yankees in 5. Reese was officially the Dodgers team captain by 1950. In 1951, he had his career high in RBIs, which is 84. Led the NL in stolen bases with 30 in 1952. And did quite well, 10 hits in the World Series against the Yankees in 52 in 7 games. Unfortunately, the Dodgers lost Game 7 on home turf to the Yankees. Anyway, Pee-wee was a mainstay for the 53 Dodgers, who won 105 games and were supposed to give the Yankees a run for their money, but lost in 6 to the Yankees. Pee-wee was given the chance to be manager after 1953, but he declined, meaning Walter Alston would be the manager, and he didn't give it up until 1976 for Tommy Lasorda. Pee-wee was still 36 years old, and still going strong through the 1955 season, putting up 99 runs. But the pitch ain't one. Hit me. Anyway, the Dodgers would go to the World Series against the Yankees, and somehow, in some way, the Dodgers won the World Series. Reese had a pair of RBIs in Game 2 and scored an insurance run. The insurance run that helped the Dodgers win the game 2-0 in Game 7 at Yankee Stadium, of all places. Reese would yield his shortstop role to Charlie Neal. He was a backup infielder for the 58 Dodgers in their first year in Los Angeles, but he would retire. He would be a coach for the Dodgers in 1959, earning a World Series ring. So in 16 years, he played over 2,100 games, putting up 2,170 hits with 885 RBIs. He was decent in the World Series, 272 with 2 home runs and 16 RBIs. He played 140 games every year between 1941 and 56. Of course, other than his Navy time. He was productive. 8 times he was in the top 10 voting for MVP. And he looked pretty impressive and all that. He was known as the little colonel. And he would bring out the lineup cards at starting games, not the manager. All that. Unfortunately, Pee-wee Reese, alongside Elston Howard, have the distinction of playing on the most losing World Series appearances with 6. Reese did win one in 1955, which was amazing and all that. So anyway, Pee-wee Reese would be a play-by-play announcer and color commentator for NBC's Game of the Week. Well, he was on CBS with Dizzy Dean from 1960 to 1965. And then 66-68, he would be with Kirk Gowdy calling games. He would call the World Series for NBC Radio. Would be part of the Reds telecast for a few years. And actually was an analyst for the Expos in 1972. In his later years, Reese went back to Louisville to be employed at Hillerich and Bradsby, the makers of the Louisville Slugger baseball bats. He would battle prostate and lung cancer during the final years of his life and died August 14, 1999, at the age of 81. So, Pee-wee was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1984. He did quite well. He married his wife in 1942, and his wife actually outlived him by 13 years, dying March of 2012, just days before their 70th wedding anniversary would have happened. Mark Reese has been making sports documentaries in LA for 25 years. Lucas Black. Yeah, that's right. So Pee-wee Reese was a legend, and he helped try to get Jackie Robinson accustomed to the major leagues. He was that kind of player. What a guy. Anyway, I'm Jet Diamond Ado.